We alive, Bay State running. It is a pleasure. Shout out to everyone. We are all experiencing the same thing worldwide, dealing with the COVID-19, but with a special athlete from Franklin, Massachusetts, representing the Hockmocks, now Boston College Eagle, Nicole Clermont. Nicole, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, just taking it day by day. Enjoying the little things like walking the dog and yeah.
So, Nicole, obviously you're from Massachusetts, your home product, Franklin, Mass. And I wanted to start doing some Q&As and start talking to obviously some of you college athletes because you guys are from Mass, but then some of you have been moving on at the collegiate level and starting to have some breakthrough performances. And like for you, you had an amazing high school career. But let's just get to BC, why BC, and then let's start from there. Freshman year BC, why BC?
Yeah, it's definitely the community. Everyone at Boston College genuinely is invested in your success and really cares about who you are as a person. It's a Jesuit institution and it's a liberal arts school, so there's a big focus on being men and women for others and taking a variety of courses. And when I went on my official visit, I stayed with one of my teammates, Colleen, and just immediately like loved all the other girls visiting, and the team vibes just seemed so fun and healthy. And the coaches are great, Randy and Julie. And I think just like the people at Boston College is what really brought me there. And I wanted to be close to home, so it worked out perfect.
So, stellar high school career. But let's talk about the dream because the 509 miler was not done.
Nope.
World championships. How, when did, so like I went back, you sent me the information, I was reading the interview, and you said about for 500 out, you and your teammate were working through the race together. With
Yeah.
500 meters out, you felt like you had a chance. So let's have that cerebral moment right now. Like we're back,
Yeah.
500 meters to go, legs are tired, but you feel it. Let's bring me there.
Yeah, so I really started to make my move at the 5K mark. But girls were still with me, so I still wasn't sure like whether or not I had it, but I knew it's kind of like play or be played, and I knew if I didn't make a move, somebody else would and I would lose that opportunity, and my goal was to win. So I was like, I have to go for it. And I just slowly started ticking away, and then at 800 meters, there was like this big hill leading up to the final 500-meter stretch. And I just really dug deep there. I definitely like love being a cross country runner and hill runner. So I was just like really focusing on my form and like trying to get that separation that I'd been working towards from 1K to 800. And I could feel like people breathing on my back, and I had no clue who they were, but I was like, I knew everyone really wanted it because we were vying for spots for the world championship. And I saw over my shoulder, it was my teammate Kayla when we were turning the corner. And Tallahassee is like a very like slow, gradual downhill finish. And when I turned the corner and realized it was just her and me, I was like, this is just like practice. And like I had been envisioning that moment where like it's me down the straightaway for so long, like for a month straight. And I saw kind of everyone starting to come into view, and like I saw the finish line tape, and my coach was like screaming at us like,
Yes.
finish. And like it was just so surreal. I was like, oh my God, just legs, don't die, like just finish the race. And I had like the biggest smile over my face breaking the tape because that's something I'd never done before. And just something, it was a moment that I was always working towards. And I had like really visualized like all the feelings leading up to it, the final stretch, and then kind of afterwards even too, like how good I would feel having pushed through that like pain and whatever like doubt during the race that came up. And the first thing I thought of like when I finished like in my visualization was like just going up to my mom and being like, oh my God, I did it. And like it was just so cool. Like I turned around and I finished, and my teammate Kayla came like right behind me a couple seconds, and we hugged and like collapsed the line, and it was just like a moment of like total euphoria, and it had been something I had invested in, and it was like the first time I really felt like I believed in myself and could see like my potential. So it was a really cool
So,
moment.
so yeah, let's talk about that. You brought that up in the interview,
Yeah.
in space, and you just brought it up now. Like, and I look 509 in high school, 258 in the K. You didn't believe in yourself. 18, 19, 5K runner. Like, how much is confidence and visualization as a runner important now that you are growing older in your bright career? How is important is confidence? Because in high school, you're a 509 miler, but you
Yeah.
felt that you weren't accomplished or
I just like, I think I've always had really high expectations of myself, and I'd always known I could do better, and I always aspired to be like the other top runners in the state. And I never quite had the individual success that I wanted in high school at like the state meet level, or I got like a couple glimpses of that in some breakthrough performances, but I always felt like I had been working hard but never kind of achieved like my top goals. And like in high school, I had set for myself like to break 5 minutes and to break 18 minutes and um, to be a state champion. And those were all things I fell short of. And I did accomplish like really great things within my league. And we had like really great team success. And our 4x8 was like so awesome. And so I cherish those moments. And I think in college there's more of an individual focus a little bit, and I kind of realized I'm going to be training a lot harder. I'm putting in more work. I'm like, and I kind of viewed college as like a time to like reset and kind of reinvent myself. Because my fall of my senior year, I was really struggling with confidence in cross country, and I was really stressed out with like all the college recruiting. And so it was kind of like getting like revenge, and it's like all expectations I put on myself. And coming into Boston College, I wasn't even supposed to be on the cross country roster. I was going to run mid distance, but that was something like cross country has always been my favorite season. And it was something I had expressed to my coach as soon as I got on campus. Like, I really want to run cross country. And um, then we started progressively working up because my mileage in high school was really low, and I had like a lot of room for growth. So my coach like gave me a plan to just start building my mileage, get stronger. And as I started realizing, like, I was like, why not me? Like, I'm putting in all this work, and
mm,
this is like my time. And so I was just having fun with it. And like, I was like definitely putting in like, not necessarily like work, but like intensity and volume than in high school. So I knew physically I was in like the best shape of my life to that point. And yeah, I think I just like have a constant, like, I just constantly want to grow. And I think that like internal drive is what's helped me kind of get to the next level. And I mean, yeah, I've definitely had that like innate gift of running, which I'm really grateful for. But I think confidence and visualization, especially when the competition gets tough, like those state meet levels or the college scene, when like in the college scene, there's so many good runners. Like, everyone was the best in high school. So it's like, I was thinking, what's going to take somebody, like, what's going to differentiate yourself? And I was asking myself this question, and it really came down to the mind and like what that can do and how it can push through the pain and believe. So that was something I really worked on last year.
wow, I like that. That was a great response. Let's talk about why not me, because I think
Yeah.
obviously our audience, we have a younger audience here based State running high school, but I think it's imperative for our younger audience to hear that, because I think we all go through those things of like, you set these high goals, but what was the, let's say, down? Because World Championships USA, that was a win. That was a big,
Yeah.
huge. What was the, let's say, downtime or the dark or the gloomy moment that Nicole
Yeah.
had to like dig deep? What was that? And could you share that with us? And what
Yeah.
did you do to get through it?
So there were a lot of like really like dig deep moments like from throughout my whole running career, but a couple stick out. And the fall of my senior year was definitely one of the hardest periods of time for me. I was struggling a lot with just like confidence and like really just finding fitness and consistency because I had a little bit of tendonitis and that just threw me off my game a little bit. And it had just been like really, I had been so zoned out in my races. Like I wasn't even like, I would like start and I would be like confident. And then like a mile in, I would just like in my head give up and like just count myself out. And that had happened like multiple times and it had kind of kept piling up on itself. And I remember at the state meet, I was like, okay, I'm ready to like leave behind this bad season and like race to my potential. And I remember coming in 51st at the state meet, and the year before I had come in fourth. And so for me, it was just a really like big disappointment. I really wanted to improve and come in top three. And I think just my mental health in that time wasn't really great. I think I was just
Mm,
struggling with a lot of anxiety and self-doubt.
mm,
And
mm,
and that was definitely like a longer period of time for me that I had struggled. And then it was really like digging myself out of that hole that I had kind of created. And so in the winter and spring, it was actually that January that I started meditating with the app called Headspace. And
yes.
yes, I love it.
Yes.
And so that really like started to help put me on like a right frame of mind. And when I came into the like winter like championship season, I just really wanted to have fun with it. My team started to do really well, and then really outdoor track was where I started to see things click for me. My senior year, I just felt so happy, and it was kind of a crazy season because I always look back and I said like say to myself, I didn't have one like shit the bed like terrible race, which like usually happens in a season. And I think I can like accredit a lot of that to just like having fun with it and not putting any pressure on myself and meditating. And every race I would go out and just be like like confident. And something that's really helped me is like standing on the starting line of any race and being like I can beat anyone on the starting line, like it's anybody's game. And like having that frame of mind before going into the race, like make sure that you don't count yourself out. And then over the summer, going into college was another like tough time because I had to like dramatically decrease my training pace from like I was running like 9-minute pace in high school to like 7:30 pace, which was like a pretty tough transition. And increasing my mileage from like 25 to almost 40. And so that was hard because I was on my own trying to do all that. But then when I got in the fall to Boston College, got so much easier being with the team. But again, like it was weird because I was like fighting to hang on to workouts. Like I wasn't always leading, and I always like was still pushing myself, but it was still really hard. And in that fall was like pretty up and down. Like I would have like a really good race, and then I would like be having a great race, and then I would have so much fatigue and my legs just like give out at the end. And that had happened like multiple times when like I was on pace to like have a great race, and then my body kind of failed me. And so there was a really low point in that season at Penn State. We ran this race at the Penn State National Meet, and I had gone out like really ambitious, but like my confidence was there, so I thought I could do it. And I think I remember like going through the 2 mile and like a PR like from high school. I'd run like 11:16, and I'd gone through in like 11:14, and I was like, oh man, like that's really fast. But I was like, it's fine. Like I know I'm like training differently. I can do it. And then my body just like my legs and like everything just started to like shut down. And like I it was definitely like the hardest race of my life. And it's honestly a little bit of like a traumatic experience, just of how hard I had to push my body just to continue running and like not stop. Um, that was like a really standout moment for me, because I always look back and I compared that moment, when I probably came like 5 from last place. Like I checked the results a year later and I was like, thank God I didn't come in last. Like, but for me, it was like, I just like, my dad, when I called him, he goes, but you didn't DNF. And like, that was something I could like,
To dad.
that was something I like took a lot of pride in. And like, he's like, you didn't quit. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And like, that's who I am. And I've never DNF'd. Like, I never intend to, because like, and no matter how bad it is, like, I'm going to push through it. And so, yeah, that was, I compare that to Tallahassee, when I had kind of a really breakthrough race and I was able to win. But in between there was definitely moments of struggle. I definitely struggled a lot with making sure I was fueling my body enough. So that was something my freshman year that I've had to work on a lot, is my energy. And because I was dealing with like the like runner's energy deficiency thing, missing periods, and like that was catching up to me at the end of races. So Tallahassee was like one race where I actually felt really good. And I think it was just a really cool moment for me to have, and amidst like kind of all the ups and downs of freshman year. But I I mean, it's not like to say that it was a walk in the park to get there. Like I know in December, like after cross country season ended, it was kind of funny because I came in 51st at the regional meet, and my dad was like, a year ago you were 51st in the state meet. And like I kind of just looked back on that as like very telling to like how much I've grown and how much I can continue to grow, and like how like one bad performance doesn't define you. Like my one bad state meet and like it, and like that one race in Penn State, like those weren't defining moments. Like I mean, they helped me develop my character, but they weren't who I was as a runner. And
Correct.
I mean, they showed my like spirit that never quits, but it wasn't necessarily my full potential. Um and you know, after those races, like there's periods when you're like kind of lost in training, and I was experiencing that around winter break, training alone again. um and I was like just feeling like, what's my motivation, like what am I training for? A race wasn't on the horizon for like another month, and then I got my wisdom teeth out, and it's actually like kind of funny because I was like bedridden for a couple days. I had to take some time off of training. This was like around Christmas of my freshman year. Um, and I just been like sitting with my mom, and I am definitely a visual person, so I like to make like goal boards and vision boards.
Yep.
And I made one for this indoor season. And I wrote goals like, you know, be a good teammate, like do my best, like do my best every day at like practice, like improve my times. And they were very like process oriented goals, but I didn't really have any like big, like almost like dreams. And like I think that's something in high school that I would either like get so attached to my huge goals or like not make them big enough. And I think my mom really helped me find that like sweet spot of like what are you actually capable of, what's within your realm but like pushes you a little bit out of it. And for me, I was looking at Tallahassee as like just such a good opportunity, because my coach was giving Kayla and I this chance to represent Team USA. And like that was something I had never really imagined would happen my freshman year. But when I realized like the magnitude of this opportunity, I was like, okay, that's going to be my goal. Like I'm going to come in top 3 in Tallahassee. And then I started thinking about it more and more. And I was like, why don't I go for the win? I was like, what, like if top 3 versus 1, like 3-1, that's not a big difference. And so I had started doing this meditation. His name is Joe Dispenza. My teammate Anna had recommended it, and I had just started like listening to him, and he talked a lot about like manifesting like your dreams and your hopes um, through like visualization. And so over winter break, like my running started to take on a new meaning. And I wasn't just running to run, I was running for that race. And like each day I would go out, I would imagine myself in the race, what I would want to do, like how it would feel and look to cross the line in first. And I just like, it sounds silly, but like I started convincing myself that like I was a Team USA member. And I would like,
Maybe,
yeah, and
maybe,
I would walk into the YMCA and like go into like whatever spin class or like lift I was doing just in Franklin, and I'd be like, yeah, like this is who I am. Like that's what I'm training for. I'm a Team USA athlete. Like, you know, like, and I would always like carry that as a part of myself, and it really started to become like who I was. And then when I got down to Tallahassee, it was almost just like there's no way, like I'm not doing this. Like this is there, like I was just like I was I felt a peace of mind and an ease knowing like this is what I was like meant to do, and this is
yeah.
what I came here to do. And I was definitely nervous like for that race. And during the race, you know, like you still have thoughts and you still have like, oh, can I do it? And but then you think back to like all those runs where you're like imagining it, and you know, when it becomes real is like when I would tell my mom and dad like I'm gonna win this race in Tallahassee. And like I was talking to my dad afterwards and he was like, you know, I didn't really actually believe you. Like I knew if you put your mind to it, you could do it, but like that did seem pretty ambitious. And I don't know, I think it just shows like if you really want something, you can do it. And yeah, you just gotta I got this ring because I've been coming back from an injury and it says own your journey.
Hmm.
And like I don't know, I think that's been key is like own your journey, own your process. So
I think I might want to title this conversation "Own Your Journey." Um, Nicole, obviously we are in difficult times, uncharted times. But you brought something up that I've been utilizing myself to get through it. Like
yeah,
because I'm trying to be not trying, but I'm gonna be as very optimistic and so positive because I feel like, one aspect of our sport is competition,
yeah,
but we train and we practice more than we compete. But
yeah, definitely.
what helped me to deal with, I guess, the anxiety, to be centered. I miss the sport. I miss seeing the kids ring. I miss being practiced. I miss like it's part of me. So I have been utilizing some of the free like a lot of the free resources, whether it's Headspace, Calm is doing it. There's several apps, and I think that you touched upon several key components that I want to like run back. I think the kids should understand like visualization and like walking yourself through the race, and like you said, when you got down to Tallahassee, it was surreal because you like I've been here before. It was something that you worked toward. Also, what I've noticed, if this is my opinion, there's so much emphasis because of we have like the flow, like the streaming, the flow track, the mile split, the Bay State running, like everything is like in a box now, so kids can see who they are. So I think there's so much anxiety, like every race, every kid's trying to like break the world record, and I think learning how to channel your thoughts, learning how to be at ease at the line, because I think a lot of the times, like you said, the body's breaking down because it starts here. Like if you get on the line and up here isn't clear, then
Yeah.
it's going to send messages of insecurity and stress and anxiety to the rest of the
Yep.
body. So like, yes, you could be in a 5K, you could be like the first mile in
Yep.
running phenomenal, and then the body just goes,
And it's like half of it's up in the head.
up here.
Yep.
So I think that's why you hit it like this. When you really hit it on the nails, I think it's important for our young audience to understand that, especially on this downtime, like learning how to, get proper breathing skills and like getting to like meditation because,
Yeah.
we don't know when we're going to run again. So at least let's work on the cerebral in the goal oriented aspect, because you like your focus was Tallahassee. Every day you stepped out was Tallahassee. When you like, you brought something in, you'd go to the Franklin Y. It could
Yeah.
be a spin cycle, but the premise, the goal still was Tallahassee. And I think kids don't understand, like, okay, all right, you could do repeat 200s, but you forget that it's the same approach in your core. It's the same approach in your diet. It's the
Yeah.
same approach in your sleep, your recovery, the mental health. You brought up the mental health. Huge.
So
I
big.
think it's huge for athletes, I think. So once COVID-19 ends, we get
Yeah.
off of the injury.
Yep.
What's next for the BC Eagle, the Franklin Sinus? What's next?
Yeah. Well, definitely right now I'm taking care of my mental health. And yeah, just like you hit the nail on the head with all that. And I really feel like it's a lifestyle. I just wanted to touch upon that point of like how you carry yourself. And it's been a big test, like having to be alone. And I've been coming back from a pretty bad stress fracture. So that journey in itself has been hard, but to and I got this ring a couple weeks ago, and I really was telling my mom today, like I'm really starting to own what I'm doing. Like each day, like I'm trusting in my gut and in my intuition that like whatever work I'm putting in, like whether it's I have to get creative at home, like whether it's like an at-home body weight circuit or like my physical therapy or core work every day or stretching, rolling, going out for my runs, even if they're like 20 minutes, like they're still really important at this point. Um, and I just got a spin bike to like start getting back into that like cardiovascular fitness
Yes.
um and you know it's yeah, like you said, it's really everything that's going into it. But what's really driving me is this fall, and I
Mm,
know that like over the summer, like it's going to be long, and I mean I'm going to be home for 6 months. So this fall I really want to make it to NCAA's in cross country. And my team made it last year in the fall, which was like huge. It was something that we had expected because we knew we had the talent in the girls. And in the fall, in October, I got a grade 3 stress fracture in my tibia. So that like when they were going off to NCAA's, like me and my team did like a send off, and I was in like boots and crutches, and like it was so it was like heartbreaking to be honest, and but it was also like inspiring because I could see this is real and this is what Boston College is doing. Like we're sending girls to the national championship, and like this is where I want to be. And so it gave me a sense of hope. And in my whole comeback journey, like I have really focused on telling myself like that's who I am. Like I'm an NCAA runner,
absolutely.
and that's like where I belong. And it's really hard. Like I've had to make adjustments in how I approach my training since coming back from injury. Like I got rid of my Garmin for a little while, and I've just been using like a little timer watch. Um, Highly recommend. Like it's so liberating to be able to go out for a run, and I've been working a lot in minutes anyway, so it's perfect. And to just be able to really get in touch with like why I love to run and like what running means to me at this time has been really important. Because like you were saying, like this time is so anxiety producing and stressful, but like at the end of the day, like running is a release, and running helps you feel better. So I've
Yes.
just been really like focusing on having fun and trying to enjoy it. And that's the biggest thing for me is like I really want to be at the pinnacle of success again. And like I have visions of what that will look like, but in the process of it all, I really want to enjoy it. And like in the past, like sometimes it's been not that fun, or I've like not had too many close friends because I've been so focused on running, or I haven't found that like balance in the build up. Even though I've been successful maybe like at the end, like last year, um, this year I really want to have the balance of like having good mental health, having great relationships, like having a good balance between like work and fun. And so I'm just looking for this time to really like be intuitive, listen to my body, and just enjoy it and give myself a good balance the next 6 months, so that when I come back to school, I'm like level headed and just confident in the direction that I should be headed. So
Wow, you stole my question. Oh, you are amazing. Nicole, check this out. So,
yeah.
we're going to wrap it up, but you've hit everything on the nails. What what will Nicole tell her younger self right now? We have a 7th and 8th grade girl who might go on Bay State running today.
Yeah.
It could be a boy or girl, right? And he or she is like, what am I going to do? I'm a freshman, I'm a sophomore, I could be in 8th grade. I really, really want to run. And with this COVID-19, I don't know. What could you share to our audience about the process in your journey, in that they will be all right, we will run again, but what would you share to them that if you saw the younger version of Nicole's entering freshman year at Franklin, she's about to see Coach Paul in a few weeks.
Yeah.
What do you say to that, Nicole?
So the first thing I would say is focus on what you can control, and that's your attitude and your effort. Have a positive mental attitude and do the best you can. Like in this time like this, that's all you can ask. Um, the second thing is have fun. Like high school and being a part of a team and being able to run is such a gift, and just enjoy like every healthy step that you have, and enjoy like the hard hill repeats, the drills and the form, and laughing with your teammates. And those are moments like you'll never get back. And spending like time like in your head being anxious or sad or whatever you may be struggling with, it's really like,
Normal.
yeah, it's normal. It's totally normal. But just remember that like there's so much to be grateful for. So just have fun with it. And then the next thing I would say is set goals. Like give yourself something that's going to get you out the door every day. Like whatever that means to you, have it be meaningful and something that you believe in. And the last thing I would say is just don't put limits on yourself. Like there's really nothing you can't do. That's what my dad always tells me. And with hard work and a good attitude, the sky's the limit. So
We got to give a special shout out to the Clermont. Mom and Dad have been dropping jewels, I see.
yes.
Mom and Dad have been dropping jewels. Shout out to them.
Yes, shout out to my mom and dad. They're the best.
I am looking forward to the 2020 Beantown Beanpot Challenge.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
boot is off.
Oh, the
Boot will
boot is
be off this
the
fall.
boot's
Let's
off.
go.
It's September. I'm ready to rock. It's gonna be so great. Like I'm so looking forward to lining up with my teammates and just being ready
I
to
can't
go.
wait to be there to be like, man, Nicole, remember this conversation in April?
Yep. But
Nicole, what's your Instagram, your social media handle so that people can follow you?
yeah, so my Instagram is at Nicole_Clermont. And my Twitter, I don't really use that much, but you can follow me. It's it's a name I created in middle school. So it's at Nikki XXO2, which makes me laugh. And yeah, I mainly use Instagram as my platform. And I'm on the Boston College SAC Instagram running that too. So if you want to check out what BC student athletes are doing, you can give that a follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you dropped a lot of good jewels today. I want to give a special shout out to my main man, Jack Carter. Jack definitely recommended you, and you knocked it out the park. Absolutely knocked it out the park, because we'll do a quick recap. Like kids, like she said, gotta have fun, setting goals, most important, meditation, kids, having that visualization of the race. And then, and obviously savoring the moment, because high school is great. Like high school sets the tone for down the road. But yes, Nicole, I really believe that there is a bright future here in Massachusetts. Our track and field is growing. And I just wanted to reach out to you and some of your other colleagues that are at the NCAA level, who I believe who are about to make a breakthrough and another big leap. And just wanted to like share these stories so hopefully you guys can inspire the next wave of runners that are coming. Because my theory is this: well, we're all in the house, so by the time everyone gets back on the track, we're gonna see some serious times because everyone really wants to run.
Yeah.
So the running community is beautiful. We want to share, that there's a common thread here. It's hard work. And then I'm glad that you allowed to get a little personal, talk about those dark and those moments of insecurity. But there is no secret. Like, your secret was health, fitness, led to confidence, led to
Yeah.
success. And last but not least, obviously listening to your parents. Big shout out to Coach Paul, Frank.
Oh, he's the best, Coach Travato. And shout out to Franklin and Jack. And yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. Like, it really inspires me to be able to help the younger generation. And it gives me like a sense of purpose stepping out the door, knowing that people are looking up to me. And
Well, you're
yeah.
not done.
Really
You
cool.
you are not done, young lady.
Yep.
We are not done. It just began. I cannot
Journey is just
wait.
beginning.
I cannot wait. This COVID thing subsides. So, but most important, we want to stress to our audience: stay at home.
Yep.
Stay at home. Be careful. Follow what the health experts and the CDC is sharing, and that, ironically, like, the one thing that you can do athletically is run and walk.
Yep.
Can't play baseball, can't play basketball. But if you can run, you can do it.
Yep.
So that's why I'm just trying to have kids stay motivated, stay 10 toes down, focused. That, like, yes, one element is temporarily suspended, which is obviously competition, but train wisely. Don't run at 2, 3 in the afternoon when there's everyone out. You might have to run like at 5, 6, 7 in the morning when there's really no one on the street. Limit your activity, But I just want coaches, athletes, for us to be innovative and, most important, share our stories in this time, because we're all in it together.
Yes, I think that's so key. Like, just reaching out to people in this time, and yeah, like just conversations like this. And I've been FaceTiming a lot with friends, and just keeps you grounded and reminds you like this time is going to pass. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then have meaningful conversations with your parents. Shout out to the Clermont mom and dad with the Jules.
Yeah.
Oh, we will be seeing each other real soon.
We will.
I'm looking forward to the Bean Cow Challenge, Franklin Park. Let's go.
Did you know that we are hosting the NCAA regional meet this year too at Franklin Park?
Oh, really?
The Northeast region is coming to Boston.
Is in Boston 2020.
For the next 2 years.
The next 2. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I will be front seat. I'll see you at Bear Cage screaming.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Peace.